Welcome back to PSL Living. I'm Sara Prohaska, Public Information Officer for the City of Port St. Lucie. If your pet is missing, one of your first things you should do is call Port St. Lucie's Animal Control. And here to tell us a little bit about the efforts that Animal Control makes to help reunite lost pets with their owners is Bryan Lloyd, Supervisor for Port St. Lucie's Animal Control. And joining him is Dr. Sara Pizano of Target Zero. Thank you both for coming on our show and joining us today to tell us about this.
Thank you.
Bryan, if we could just start with you. The first thing, can you give us some tips owners should do if they discover their dog or cat is missing?
Sure, like you said, the first thing to do is to call Animal Control. Our phone number is 772-871-5042.
Okay.
Our staff there can check our current impound log to see if we have your dog at our office. If not, we will take your information, your pet's information down and put it into our lost and found log.
Okay.
Important thing about that is all of our officers on the field have access to that log. So as we're driving around finding animals, we do check that against what's been lost.
Okay. Now, Port St. Lucie has a pretty good reuniting rate, recovery rate, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
We call it the return to owner rate.
Return to owner. Okay. I knew there was a term for that. Why is it so high? What are some of the things that Port St. Lucie has done to get that to that level?
Well, it takes work on the part of Animal Control, but also assistance from the residents of the City of Port St. Lucie.
Okay.
So putting identification on your animals is the #1 thing that gets them back home.
Okay.
We recommend microchipping. It's the easiest way. All of our officers carry 2 different scanners in their vehicles.
Okay.
So we can attempt to locate owners while we're in the field instead of having to bring them to the animals to our office. Any kind of identification, though, is helpful. So even tags on animals is worthwhile if you can get that done. We find that dog owners seem to put identification on their pets more frequently than cat owners do. So I really would push for cat owners to kind of step up and take that initiative as well.
Okay. And Port St. Lucie does something a little differently when you get your pet licensed with microchips. Can you tell us how you guys link this? How the city links microchipping to licensing?
Certainly. Excuse me. Yes. We'd like to incentivize people to microchip their pets.
Okay.
What we've done is we've offered lifetime licenses for any resident who has their animal spayed or neutered and also has it microchipped.
Okay.
The cost of the license is a one-time fee of $5.
Oh, okay. That's great.
Once you license your pet, that information goes into our licensing database. And
Okay.
again, it's another way for our officers in the field to get your animal back home to you, safe and sound.
Okay. All right, Dr. Pizano, thank you for coming with us. You came up from Broward County to join us today, so we really appreciate that.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Can you tell us, first of all, a little bit about Target Zero? What is your organization?
Sure. So Target Zero is a charitable initiative, and we help open admission shelters all over the United States decrease intake of shelter animals productively. And that means proactive programs to help pet owners keep their pets or help them place their pets outside of the shelter system.
Okay.
And then getting to that 90% or better live outcome, which means, look, we know we will always have some level of euthanasia, unfortunately, through severe medical or severe aggression with those large dogs that cannot be safely rehabilitated. But outside of those, we do believe and see all over the country, all types of shelters, rural, urban, north, south, east, and west, that shelters are getting to that 90% or better live outcome.
Oh, that's great. Can you tell us a little bit about what you've observed with Port St. Lucie? How are we doing it that how does our return rate or reuniting rate?
There's different ways to say it. Reunification, return to owner, reclaim.
Okay.
We seriously are the most impressed with the city of Port St. Lucie out of any of the organizations that we've worked with in the last 2 years. Really, the return to owner rate is a little over 50%, and there's a significant effort to return animals in the field, which really helps. So that proactive piece, the part about linking the microchips and the lifetime incentivizing a microchip and the licensing and the spay-neuter, along with posting animals' pictures on the website, that's amazing. So we are talking about dogs right now. So it's a little over 50%, I think. Your return to owner for dogs, right?
Our overall return to owner rate with dogs and cats included is 55%.
55%.
Yes, correct. So we're probably closer to around the 70% with dogs and then the cats is around 5%, unfortunately.
So the dogs is amazing, far greater than any other community, and we shared that with the mayor. Congratulations to the police department. So I'm so happy to be here to help get this word out. We're telling everybody we really want Bryan and the police department to speak at conferences to teach other organizations and communities how to be successful with those those lost dogs. With cats, it's different. We now know again that most people let their cats in and out, and that's normal. We know that the return to owner rate for cats, unfortunately, is as low as it is here around the country. So 5% and lower. So we do not recommend a stray hold with cats because when you sterilize them, if they do make it to the shelter and they're found outside, and I say found, but they're not lost really, sterilize them and put them back where we found them.
Because do they have the ability to find their way home? Cats?
Well, studies show that they're 7 to 10 times more likely to find their way home from the street than a shelter. Studies. We have lots of data. We have many hundreds of communities around the country proving that this program is really how to get those cats home. Absolutely.
And the lower rate for cats, I would think, because like you said, cats don't usually wear a collar. They don't wear a little name tag. Dogs usually do. So that's where the microchipping for cats I would think would be very important, because they're not wearing a collar. So if they have the chip in them, you guys find them. You said you carry around the scanners. That right there could help.
Yes.
So,
In fact, just this past week, I went over the weekend reports just today, and we had 2 cats with microchips that returned to owner over the weekend. So it does work. I mean, we are able to get those cats back home if just people would take that time to put that identification in them. We scan every animal we pick up. So it's just a helpful way. And not only microchip your pets, but then also give us that information. We need to have that information on our system. But at the very least, contact the microchip company and make sure they have your information.
And make sure it's up to date, because sometimes people...
Big problem.
They'll get it when the cat's a kitten, and then they've moved to different houses, and they don't think to update that. So is that...
it's a huge problem with dog microchipping and cat microchipping, and that's what makes the Port St. Lucie numbers so much more compelling, when it's like they're making sure that the microchips stay updated, and being that active participant with the pet owner is amazing. But and the other thing with the stray holds, because they're held at the city shelter for 3 days, and that's where it's happening in the field, and it's happening at your shelter.
Correct. Yes.
So that's within 3 days, which is even more amazing. So again, we need to look at, why would we have a 5-day hold when the 3-day hold is so effective? We're just increasing a length of stay in a shelter for no reason, when we can get them to a new adopter or rescue partner or something like that.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit more about what Target Zero does around the country?
Yes, so we actually look for open admission shelters with low save rates and leaders that really want to affect change. And again, productively decreasing intake by helping solve community problems and increase the live outcome. And all our work is pro bono, which is amazing, right? And we do shelter assessments on site that may cost tens of thousands of dollars. All of that is pro bono. And then we mentor those organizations for up to 3 years. So we've had great success in, Waco is a great example. They were saving around 35% of the animals when we started with them. They just finished their 2nd year at 90%. Huntsville's now over 90. Indianapolis got to 90 for cats. So all of them, and the common denominator with the low save rates, like we see here at the Humane Society shelter, is that they're not doing the community cat diversion and taking those proactive steps to help pet owners keep their pets or place them outside of the shelter system, and that's called managed intake or safety net. So that's what Target Zero does. We're just here to help and say we have so much data to show that these proven strategies can make the difference.
Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. Bryan, is there anything else you want to add just to tell residents? Is there a website, the city's website? You post pictures pretty quickly, right, of dogs and cats that you pick up?
Yes, we work with the communications department. We send you pictures just about every day of the animals that we pick up, and we're we're pretty good at getting those up quickly and updating the website as quickly as we possibly can.
Okay.
Additionally, though, I'd like to mention that the city does have a spay-neuter program that's free for residents.
Oh, great.
So we do have information on their website about that. So if you have a pet and you're looking to get it spayed or neutered, please visit our website or contact our office, and we can give you information how they get that done for free.
For free. That's awesome. Okay. So if that's a problem and you maybe couldn't afford it, not a problem, because just contact the city.
And that goes long ways to getting our shelter numbers down.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Okay. Yep. All right. Well, thank you so much. This was very informative, and I know dogs and cats, pet owners always love to hear this kind of stuff. The more we can help them, give them information about this, the better. So if you know, someone's poor dog gets out of their yard or their cat is missing, please call Port St. Lucie's Animal Control first, and we can maybe
get those microchips in and registered. And again, congratulations to the mayor and the police department. Bryan's division is so impressive, really. We're really so happy to have met.
Well, thank you for coming up and talking to us. We really appreciate it. All right, thank you, Bryan, too.
Thank you.
Great. And we'll be right back after these messages.